will come out on top. We got ourselves ready for draft number 1 of the finals. Let's get things underway. DePaul against Seton Hall.
All right, now what should be interesting about this draft is if people have been saving things, hiding things in the semifinals, 2-0 sweeps, this is where we're going to get to see them. Maybe not this game necessarily, but definitely this series. So interesting to see what is super high on priority. One thing that's always going to be high is the Ivern, banned away almost immediately from DePaul.
And I want to see what ends up happening here with the picks and bans, because what ended up happening last time was it was Ivern, Vladimir, and Renekton. So there's already a difference here for DePaul from what we had seen previously. But also, I remember that first game, DePaul won it. A lot of it was that Ashe, and we had talked about it after the game where Ashe was so hard to contain. The ban was picked up by Seton Hall, so they have learned from their previous match, and they have prioritized that as something to take away.
Yeah, quick picks and bans here. Ivern, Mordekaiser, and Morgana taken away by DePaul on the opposite side for Seton Hall. Ashe, Zaya, and LeBlanc. The quick pick of Rise coming on through for DePaul, but then answered back by Kaisa and Thresh. So Numgums will have his opportunity to play the Thresh, not Hunky Hank.
Yeah, and of course, the Thresh and Nautilus are a shared champion build between the two. Interesting to see with the Kaisa already picked up. Naturally, we normally see the Nautilus. Thresh is something that has a higher skill ceiling, although I think it also has the lower floor. So it is going to come down to how does Numgums actually compete in this. And we had seen it in the earlier series, and it hadn't blown us away immensely, but definitely the Nautilus playing game 2 definitely points to an upward trend. So we'll have to see how this goes on around. But Ivern, back on the Echo.
Yeah, back on the Echo here. He had a great game on it where it got really dirty, and I feel like the Dark Harvest that he took started to stack very quickly because there were like 26 kills in like 13 minutes or something along those lines. And the Blitzcrank on the other side here for DePaul, for Hunky Hank.
Yep.
This guy knows how to play his hook champions, knows how to play his engaged champions. And whenever I watch him, it's an absolute treat. He's able to bring these in and really set those fights up. So I'm really scared here for Numgums in the bottom lane on that Thresh. He can't really get out once he's in, and that hook will put him straight in.
Mianhe getting the Kiana taken away from DePaul, as well as Renekton being removed. So please be patient, won't have that in his champ pool. Olaf and Pantheon get taken away by Seton Hall, and that leaves up Ornn. Both of these top laners had the opportunity to play Ornn in the semifinals. Please be patient, we'll have his hands on that one. Again, another champion that can stack those plasma stacks for the Kaisa on the bottom side of the map.
But what is a top? Okay, I was about to say what is a top laner without the jungle, but I think we're going to be definitely seeing a hard flex in strategy here as we have the well, we get the J4 a little bit more towards
Singed
that meta,
J4,
but
yeah.
Singed and J4 certainly Singed somebody who we know for the procs farming, know for really just trying to pull pressure away, and I'm actually kind of just running this one in my head, like how that's going to affect the neutral game matchup, because we've been talking about going top, get that ahead, and then bring that down to the bottom side. Singed isn't normally something that your first thought is, okay, let's bring him elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, but he does keep you in lane because he can proxy, he can go ahead and clear waves very, very easily. So I feel like he can get priority pretty much better than almost any other champion and can actually avoid you to get priority and move. So if they're playing macro, DePaul, they're in business here.
Right.
But the Aurelia on the other side too for Mianhe, we haven't seen an Aurelia in a quick minute.
Yeah, it's been quite some time. With Rune Prison, you're able to keep Aurelia in place from dashing around all the time. And again, talking about that Singed on the top side of the map for Ivern, it's like, hey, against Ornn, it's like, hey, look, you guys have the proactivity. You guys can have Ornn, that's fine. But if you mess up your proactive play, the one time you're going to teleport away, we're going to punish you across the map, and this Singed is going to be a nightmare to deal with. All right, time for predictions. It's final times. These top 2 teams have made it. Who do you guys have? I'll go first with my prediction. I like the fact that DePaul has himself Reaper on J4. He's a great facilitator of that. I think he will be the one that takes it to I've earned this rank. The young freshman saying, hey, look, glad you had a good season. We've been in line for years now. It's our turn to take the victory. DePaul coming up with game number 1.
I'm going to go with DePaul as well. I was favoring Seton Hall pretty much, the last time they played each other and earlier today, but I think the Singed pick is very smart against Ornn. You can stop his ultimate by putting your goo on him and making sure that he can't actually knock it with his head. And so it's a big counter to a team fight, and I think the priority suits the meta. So I think the Singed is a pocket pick that's going to flip this series on its head from what I had thought coming in.
I think this game, if Seton Hall wants to win it, is going to definitely be on Ivern's shoulders. But that being said, I think I definitely favor DePaul. Not only do I like their composition and the change up with the Singed top lane, but I also like the fact that DePaul have just been playing the map a bit more. It seems like Seton has been a bit more passive. DePaul, they're the ones who take charge, and I like that a lot in this kind of series.
All right, the desk all on the same page. Nothing left to do except to get into game number 1 in the Big East preseason invitational, brought to you by Grubhub. Thanks, Grubhub. All right, no matter what, new champion in the Big East. Villanova finally fallen after 2 seasons of success. DePaul has been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Seton Hall just happy to be here, but maybe looking for a little bit more now that they're playing with house money.
Oh, they certainly are. But not only do we have a new champion of the Big Ten of the Big East after this, we also got new champions in the game. I mean, Aurelia, Singed, and Blitzwing, I believe, at least here on stream, first times that we've seen them out and around. And we were talking, now's the time. If you got things up the sleeves, pop them out.
Yeah, and I want to see what these guys are able to do, because I think a lot of it has to do with the Conqueror change, where the Aurelia will get more adaptive force. It's a lot of healing, and she does heal a ton. And then the Singe, same thing. He's actually got Conqueror on top of it, as well as King Amazing. So we see the Caitlyn with it. Harder to stack as a ranged champion. It's 1 stack instead of 2 every time you actually land an ability or a basic attack. So it takes her much longer to stack it up. She'll need attack speed to do that. But the Singe, that's what I'm looking at. How does this work with him? Is it every tick of Q? Is it every activation? How is he going to do it?
Pretty cool to watch here. All of you at home watching Twitch chat, we see you guys. You know, your spam has to be a little bit smarter here, because if you use spam this ball to help DePaul, it also works with spam this ball to help Seton Hall.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
Have to come up with a different right. You'll have to use the mascot. Use the mascots. The Blue Demons and the Pirates. Spam this.
Spam this bin to help Seton. No.
We'll check it out.
Pretty good, yeah.
There you go. Pretty good.
All right, but these two teams have definitely deserved their spot to be here. I think Mianhe has a tall order here against the range of Rise. Rise, a scaler, but at this point, I think has to be careful, because Kamcha, the veteran, he's been able to play supportive mid laners. He's been able to play carry mid laners and get it done. Mianhe's first time, and a big moment, and not afraid of it, and goes right on in. It's the first blood over to Seton Hall, taking care of business.
And it's taken so long for us to see an Aurelia, and he just comes right in and just absolutely blows him up. A lot of healing came through, too, that I don't think Kamcha was expecting, as well as that damage.
And that's the kind of confidence you have to have on this melee pickup. You need to be ready to go in immediately, because if you give time for Rise scale on up, if you give time for him to give defensive, it becomes harder and harder to knock that matchup off. And it's actually really interesting to see that the mid lane is the lane that somewhat throws a wrench into the plans, because I don't think any of us really expected mid lane to be that high priority. Both the mids, you know, kind of sleeping a little bit under the radar, especially in those semifinal series, but seeing first blood already onto the Aurelia.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a huge snowball opportunity there, too. Good dodge by Numgum stuff, dipping forward instead of backward.
So early first kill heading on over to Seton Hall. They've got themselves a gold lead and a big pushing wave. Always got to be careful of the hook. Numgums already has lost his flash. Crop still has his plus the heal.
Crop.
There's another one. Does land. And an early heal by Crop, keeping him safe. And then accidentally stepping on a trap was Numgums.
Less safe.
And this lane is pretty difficult.
Well, if you're a Caitlyn, what you want to do is you want to put the trap right behind the turret, so you can actually hide it. So if anybody walks behind it, they can't see it with their camera, because it's, you know, right behind it in the shadow of the turret. It's actually pretty impossible to see. And so you do that, people will step on it, you get free damage, and that's what happened there at the end.
All right, so as much as Seton Hall has had that first blood, the bot lane just being dominated right now by King Amazing and Hunky Hank. That's the first time we've seen Hank miss a hook. Numgums and Crop on that back foot, just trying to farm as well as they can on under the turret.
Yeah, doing what they can. Keep in mind here that Reaper is starting to move on to the bottom side of the map up. Crop is incredibly low, no heal available, Flash is up. But do they actually go for... Oh, that's the shield gone too from the Lantern, so even less defensive options now. It's all going to be on the Flay, and the hook. If they can keep J4 at bay, maybe they have a chance, or maybe they don't even go for the dive at all.
Well, they have to wait for the hook. I think the hook is really what would be the signal to go here. Hunky Hank, even if he like flashes and goes for it, something to make it so that... I mean, it's hard to gank underneath the turret this early, especially against a Thresh. Hook can lock you up for very long, and then the Flay. So I think you're just kind of waiting on Hunky Hank to just do the business himself.
There's another hook, kind of go slightly wide there. And again, just nice patient play by Seton Hall, but DePaul accentuating that lead on the bottom side of the map. Already more than a wave of CS up. 6 minions, 7 minions in a wave, and they're up 8 CS right now. So it's slow but steady and only 5 minutes in. And pushing back that scaling of Kaisa just a little bit.
Trying to figure out what maybe Soon has been doing. He backed for boots, went back to lane, walking, and then he went back and got a Dark Seal. So he's basically just been focused on getting Dark Seal, corrupting, and boots. And because Orn doesn't have to leave lane to actually buy his items. But he hasn't had to use pretty much any of the stacks of his corrupting potion since he has all 3 still.
Yeah, much slower between these two teams in game number 1. We saw a lot of action early. Level 6 has been hit by Please Be Patient. There is no goo.
He's gonna die.
Stuck in a tough spot. He's heading into the Int Cove. Maybe soon might be able to get away. The bad breath, more than enough. And Seton Hall find themselves a 2nd kill.
I don't know what's been going on in this top lane. I'm just looking at it like this Singe keeps pushing and then leaving, and he's missing experience every single time he does that. The level 6 comes through for Please Be Patient, and he just gets bopped.
Yeah, not really building priority in that matchup like we would really expect. And now with that potentially starting to turn towards neutralize and TP still being available for Please Be Patient, this does open up the map now for Seton Hall to look down towards this bottom side. Of course, they don't really have priority in one of these lanes just yet, but when you include Please Be Patient onto the Ornn, then you really start to work in these situations where these fights could be won. And if you also get involved, this man, of course, Irelia in the mid lane, there's no real way to lock him down either.
Yeah, we're talking about how that interaction in the top lane would work. You throw down the goo, it prevents Please Be Patient's Ornn from hitting the 2nd hit of the Call of the Forge God. But as soon as maybe Soon threw that down, Please Be Patient hit 6, he just sidestepped the goo and knew that this kill was his. Just a small misplay from the pocket pick, and now Mianhe taking a decent amount of damage. He should be fine. Takes that cannon and will head himself back home.
Yeah, he's mostly pushing so that he can back. First Drake is up, and everybody's kind of looking for those back timers to get their items so that they are all good to go.
Uh-oh.
Reaper's actually down a level.
Reaper's down a level. The jungler support synergy here will be joined by the bot laner of DePaul again, right? Caitlyn has been shoving up this lane the whole time, and Ivern in this rank. Cheeky little play here, King Amazing. Forced back, it calls out the flash, but TP's now being channeled by the top laners. Who's gonna join first? Crop trying to get a little bit of damage down, not quite able to do anything yet. Ivern in this rank, able to get himself to safety. Numgums will sacrifice himself, landing the death sentence, but he writes his own death sentence, and maybe soon not able to get the toss backwards.
Yeah, that was actually a buffer from Please Be Patient to use the breath to make sure that he couldn't be flung backwards. So you heard the laugh from the Singe come out, but no way to actually move that Ornn.
Remember, you are untargetable, immovable. What is it?
Unstoppable?
Unstoppable.
There we go. I got it. One of those unables when you use that skill. So Please Be Patient, not getting flung backwards, and will stop. They do end up losing one, but it could have been a lot worse.
Certainly could have. Ivern still hanging around, but I don't think he's going to be able to get too much here in. Yeah, E doesn't go that far over the wall.
Yeah, you got to flash E.
Yeah.
You got to flash and then E instead of E flash.
That is going to alert him to the. Is going to alert the DePaul bottom lane to his presence on the bottom side. Gives Reaper a little bit more intel, and that was once again Ivern going with potentially the weaker jungler in the early stages, trying to just kind of sit around the dragon. And if Seton Hall wants him to start picking up these neutral objectives in the early game, I have to see a little bit more actual preparation. Maybe throw something to top side, maybe just do something to get, bottom lane, Ignite goes down.
Yeah, but they know what's going on here. Irelia is coming from behind.
Oh no! Numgums gets taken down. The ace in the hole finds its home. No block there by Crop. And it's the support Numgums who had himself one heck of a series in their semifinal match. Not quite able to replicate the same success early on here in game number 1 of the finals.
Yeah, and a really good performance in team fights into the backline.
Reaper came from out of the screen right into Crop's reality and landed the Cataclysm, putting him down on the top side of the map. This is the answer, maybe soon getting caught out. Ivern in this rank with the flash, able to pick up the kill. And it's a nice little answer, but now they'll lose bottom side pressure. The Drake heading over to DePaul.
Yeah, but this is going to be that trade. Of course, Herald coming up this early on is traded back onto the bottom side. So Ivern is on the back foot, but is at least, his foot's in the right place. He's still up onto a top side, and we'll watch this play in the bottom side because I don't really remember how this one played out
Whoa.
Okay, let's look in. Well, I guess there's only so many ways that a Blitzcrank Caitlyn can
This
play
part,
out.
though, this part.
Right.
Yeah, the A's no. Oh,
Oh, the
minion
minion!
block!
Oh!
No, Numgums
no.
believed. He trusted you.
Which game was it that had the Leona trying to like flash in front of the Caitlyn? It was like Leona flash, Gragas, Zanya.
That was the last one I think that we had. It was
It's like that's the opposite
I think
of what
it was
just
game one.
happened.
It was game one of Seton Hall Villanova. That was,
No, it was game 2.
was it game two? The
Yeah.
Leona? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
game two.
It was on Villa.
It's
Yeah.
very, very
Do
early.
you call him Vanilla?
Villanova.
Villanova.
Vanilla Nova? Oh,
Got
okay.
different ways to say them.
Uh-oh, Myanhe getting caught out. Has no minions to dash to. Will drop down the ulti, but should be easy work. Will he be able to flash away? Does not. Tries to flash
Ooh.
downwards, buying some time, but the Realm Warp coming on in. Rise will say thank you very much. Kamcha picking up the kill.
Yeah, and this is really showing you, once again, the mechanical prowess on the side of Seton Hall players like Miyane to get that early advantage. But now it's not really that forethought. As the Herald gets popped down mid, it's a good initial thought because you want to get those plays onto Aurelia to keep snowballing, but you don't give the thought to, okay, what is the enemy team going to be able to do in response maybe soon? Somebody who has been having a fantastic time so far, 5 games on Singed this season apparently, 100% win rate. I mean, with the way that DePaul's playing right now, that may stay 100%, but let's see how he keeps going up here.
Spam this cringe to help Singed.
Right now, he's very happy that his team has been able to use the pressure that he's been absorbing on the bottom side of the map. They do take the bottom turret first, and King Amazing and Hunky Hank getting the job done early on. Again, King Amazing, pentakill in the semifinals on Zaya, so we know that he's capable to get Betty. We know that he's capable to carry. He's in the driver's seat right now for the Blue Demons. The opposite side, Seton Hall, still trying to figure out how they're going to play through their jungler. I've earned this rank as they have throughout the whole playoffs.
And this is why you saw Seton Hall in that drafting phase banning away so many ADCs, because they know King Amazing is a king in his own right. He's been able to play through a lot of these different carries. The Zaya, of course, earlier on in the day. Right now it's on the Caitlyn, which, of course, with new Storm Razors, is even stronger than ever. And pair him, of course, with the Hunky Hank, the Hook Master, apparently, as he's being shown off so far today. And this bottom lane for DePaul just hasn't had an answer, and that's why I need to see Seton Hall either in this. I think it's a little bit late for them to answer in the laning phase of this game, but I need to see throughout the series what is their answer to that side. Do they invest more heavily into the top side, to the mid lane, or do they just send the troops unblocked?
Yeah, and the thing here that I've noticed, and this is what I noticed in the previous series that they had played each other, is that even though Maybe Soon and Reaper on the top side sometimes struggle a little bit. Like, Please Be Patient was the person who had subbed in and had done amazingly well, but then you also had I've Earned This Rank doing incredibly well too. I felt the bottom side of the map in their previous 3-game matchup was the decider. King Amazing has had so many champions banned against him. The Ashe on top of that. I felt that Hunky Hank and King Amazing were the 2 better players in the bottom lane. And I think that's the difference. They have to get enough of an advantage here on the top side by Seton Hall to make a difference.
Maybe, Please Be Patient, I think, slightly overestimating his damage. Blows the flash there. And maybe Soon just kind of ran around in a circle doing what Singes do. Able to bait out the ult and the summoner spell. Now Crop getting bullied out of the mid lane. Kaisa being forced behind the turret. Tried to bait out a flank by Echo. Oh, Numgums.
Not again.
This is how you do it. This is how you do it, you 80 carry. Blocking the ace in the hole, and Numgums doing his job. But mid lane now open. It's just the Thresh there. No one able to continue to defend as King Amazing putting down the traps, the pressure, and taking the HP off this turret.
And there's nobody really to defend this mid lane tower. 14 minutes in, Dragon's coming up pretty soon. And this tower mid for DePaul would open the possibilities for more of those neutral objectives, and that's exactly what they did. Now, Galen, you can push so far up, put that trap line down, and control these entrances to basically any objective you want to.
Yeah, I think he wants to shove one more lane back. I think he might be able to afford a completed Zeal item here and get 2 items and then go to the Dragons, because you already see that Hunky Hank is backing right now. I think they want to get a back timer on the Caitlyn and see what they can cash in on.
All right, a much slower pace in this game. Both these teams, I think, respecting one another after especially seeing the semifinals played out. Both teams were more than willing to brawl in those games, but they don't want to lose the edge here early on against formidable opponents in the finals. They don't want to drop a game. They don't want to drop that far behind in gold. And right now, DePaul holding a 2,500 gold lead over Seton Hall.
You can see the rapid fire cannon just came in off that back. So the Ocean Drake, the second Drake coming up here. If DePaul are able to get that, then it'll move it over to that third one. And we'll see what rift we get and how it changes. It won't be Ocean. I don't think it'll be Mountain either. I think it was the first one.
Hey!
Summoner's Drift, let's go!
All right, Cloud Drake has been dropped. Get ready to speed around the map, boys and girls.
The Cloud Winds Quicken.
Get the rotation.
The Mountain Rises, the Cloud Winds Quicken.
That could be better. What would you have made it there? It sounded like you're
Zoom, zoom.
unimpressed.
Just the word zoom, zoom.
Yeah, just zoom,
I
zoom.
would appreciate that.
I mean, it literally tells you what it does.
I feel like the wind's hasten or something.
Well, one
wind
zoom,
case.
then the Cloud Drake's face, and then the other zoom on the other side. All caps.
Probably better. I'd like that one a bit more. You know, you have to have like this special font just for the zoom channel.
It just says Deja Vu.
Potentially. I do want to note though, actually, like while that, not enough time. No notes here. This
No
is a
noted.
class.
Please be
Holy
patient.
fight.
Already got thrown backwards once, but Hunky Hank, King Amazing, it's a big rotation. They're all stuck in the bush. It's a great time for a phone call. Nice answer there by Ivor in this rank. He's able to use his ultimate to go backwards. Reaper now stuck into the pit. He's the one that threw down the Cataclysm, and it might have been to his own death. He is able to get himself out to safety, but Seton Hall finally able to get something going. And on the bottom side of the map, Kamcha going 1v1 and losing out to Myanhe. 3 kills to Seton Hall.
I was like, what the heck is going on the bottom side of the map? Because it looked like they were going to get some pressure there, and they were going to fight it on the top side, but they were completely outmatched. And you can see Myanhe is able to just 1v1 underneath turret.
Saw how quickly this turned on the map. The winds of war converged, or the gusts go, and immediately Seton Hall right back in this game.
I like that. I like that.
Shout out, Elias.
Very nice.
Is that Elias?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, shout out to Elias.
Yeah.
That's my boy. I gotta
Big
hit
ups
him
to
up.
chat.
Is Elias in chat?
Elias in chat. Hello. Seton Hall able to work their
Show
way
yourself.
back on in. Close the gap here. No longer a 2,500 gold lead, just down to 1. And see this one more time on the bottom side of the map. Kamcha just stepping up a little bit too far, and Myanhe just not afraid of anything. I guess Rune Prison was down for a little bit longer, and the Blade Surge getting him out of turret range is going to be huge.
You know, that's as simple as they come. I mean, when you're on the Aurelia, just get one stack on and you just go to town on whoever it is you're laning against. And it really is that mastery of knowing exactly where that line is. What's too much damage? What can you pull off? And that's exactly what you're able to put the leverage on down in Seton Hall. But they were able to do a very nice job. DePaul was trying to find some sort of pick in the top lane. Seton recognized that, recognized the Blitzcrank was up there, threw the Owen ultimate out, got a larger fight, and now especially that there's 3 kills onto Ivern, who hasn't been doing too much in the earlier stages of this game, they can start to play that bit more higher econ game, get these fights going once again. And if they can force these 5v5 or 4v4 with letting Aurelia be on the backside or split pushing somewhere, that's the way that they win this game through.
Yeah, Myanhe just needs to make sure he stays online enough and capitalize. And it's pretty cool that we've seen mistakes, like skill cooldown mistakes. Kamcha using Rune Prison on the bottom side of the map. That was the go button for Myanhe. In the top side earlier, we saw maybe soon throw down the goo, and then please be patient said, yeah, you're dead now. Your counter here doesn't work anymore, and I will run you over. So slight mistakes and capitalizations here by Seton Hall. You see a lot of teams afraid to take that chance, to take that 1v1, even if there's a gap in some of the skills. And so Seton Hall not afraid to continue to battle and try to scrap at this lead, scrap at this deficit that they're working against.
Now Kamcha moving to a different lane. He's going to go put maybe soon up against the Aurelia. We'll see how that works. He's got 2 items. It'll be a little harder to chase down the Singe that has the Ghost as well as the Rylai's Crystal Scepter at this point.
Ivor in this rank, roaming around here in the mid lane. King Amazing, not afraid of getting a little aggressive because Hunky Hank was nearby. No vision on where the J4 was. There's just so much vision right now on the top side of the map for DePaul. They're controlling the Baron area as everyone's starting to rotate down to the bottom side for this next Drake.
And remember, there are already 2 dragons down for DePaul, and as they don't really want to find these full-on 5v5 fights, I think their clearest path to victory is definitely playing the dragon game. So they need to start moving down towards the bottom side. In fact, they're going to get to a fight right here, right now, it's 5.
Yep, here comes the TP from Maybe Soon. He's coming on in. It's from Kamcha, the fling backwards. Ivern in this rank. That was unfortunate timing for Chrono Break. Goes right in the middle of everyone, doesn't do enough damage. Now Myeonhae trying to dash around, not quite able to as well. The number
All
advantage
in.
more than enough. Realm Warp coming on through. 3-man flay might not be enough. Please be patient, trying to dish out the damage. Crop getting flung forward. The poison ticking down, and King Amazing is able to pick up the kill on the Crop. Numgums goes down as well, and the Blue Demons now take control of the game and the Drake Pit.
And DePaul, they load up the bus, they go all the way downtown, and they're able to clean that fight up nicely. It starts perfectly with the pick, and it follows through in strides. Now, third Dragon, Summoner's Drift just got a little bit quicker, and the ultimate will be coming up just that much faster. And ladies and gentlemen, we are one Dragon away from the Dragon Soul for game number 1 of this grand final. But also, 2 more away now, potentially from the Elder Dragon spawning, if DePaul are able to grab that one up. And DePaul, with how much poison, how much splash damage they have, if they get those executes, that can mean absolute disaster for the side scene.
Yeah, and they had no idea this was coming. Everybody's kind of coming down here, and
Hunky Hank just...
I know Hunky Hank has just done such an amazing job. Whenever they go up against Seton Hall, they're able to all just coordinate perfectly off of his engages, and right there, the perfect pick, followed by the Realm Warp to get everybody in there, and Crop, I mean, he just got in. He has to get out.
Yeah, you take my hook champion, I'll use a different one and have the same amount of impact. Hunky Hank's been looking so fine throughout the tournament.
It's the iBlitzcrank, it's the upgrade. It's a new version.
Whoa, come here, Shelly.
Yeah, the Rift Herald being popped and doesn't even get to the turret on the top side.
Yeah,
DePaul hold here.
that was a second Rift Herald. That's Kelly.
Is that the official name?
Yeah, I'm gonna call her Kelly.
Kelly? Okay.
Shelly and Kelly.
Yeah. I don't like her as much.
Older
but-
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Well, is she younger sister because she gets born later?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but she's like more HP. So like I would associate like
Yeah, but sometimes
she's
you
more
know.
experience.
Sometimes the younger one is better.
Okay.
You know.
I was thinking maybe she's the one like that's just gone off to school for a few years and now she's come back. It's like what happened to what happened to my sister Shelly? I'm gonna beat y'all up for this.
Oh boy.
Because she has more
Yeah,
HP, more
we
damage.
beat up Shelly, and then Kelly comes out like, yo.
The big boss.
What were you doing, my little sister, man?
Exactly.
TP play happening now on the top side of the map. Myeonhae looking for something, will TP to the top to hold on to that turret. And right now, Seton Hall on the back foot. Haven't seen the same type of impactful TP plays. Haven't seen the type of team fights that they've wanted yet. And Ivern this rank, getting hooked once there by Hunky Hank, turns things around. And we saw, even in that last game where Ivern this rank looked good, as soon as he gets caught out, things get stopped there. Nice flash away by King Amazing to stop the engage from Seton Hall.
And that's going to be the Singed on the bottom side, maybe soon, just getting free time here. And that's the thing that's worrying right now is DePaul. DePaul, I think, are going to start skyrocketing through the
Oh,
game.
no! I burned this rank using the blast cone to blast himself back home after Kamcha able to land the Q from Rise. That was more than enough damage. And now everybody on Seton Hall trying to hold this Baron.
Exactly, and maybe soon is now in there. He had TP'd in just to do some zone control. With that jungler down, there's no chance of a smite steal. They'd have to steal it some other way.
Oh no! That's not what you want! King Amazing able to get the kill. Hunky Hank landing hooks left and right, using hands. And now Crop forced to flash himself out, but now in a lot of trouble.
Whee!
There's the fling. Backwards you go. King Amazing, another headshot coming on through. Please be patient. Running out of time. Reaper. He's the kill Reaper right there, picking that one up as well.
And I have to say that, like, this is really the best possible dragon that you could have for a Singed. Extra movement speed in the jungle. When you get the Dragon Soul, he gets 10% movement speed at all times, and then when they get it later, he pops the ultimate. That's 30% more. Like, this is going to be a really speedy Singed if it even gets to that point.
Yeah, it might not. It might end right here, right now. Myeonhae, Numgums, and Ivern this rank, the only ones left up right now. Ivern this rank does have Chrono Break to buy some time. And DePaul showing restraint. They're more than happy to take the mid inhib and then rotate around the map to keep the pressure going. Seton Hall, man, things just spiraling out of control very quickly. Kamcha, after losing that 1v1, realized, yeah, you know what? I'm pretty good in team settings as well. Just holding off multiple members here. And again, Ivern this rank, he has Chrono Break here. Thinks he can get away, and
It's just so much damage.
Close.
It's so much damage. 419 to come through. Like a fourth of his HP off of a single ability after it had been set up. but he was expecting to get away a little bit faster than that. And then, of course, the Blitzcrank. Always good to bait Barons and Blitzcrank or even just force them. And that's just really understanding, Hunky Hank especially, understanding what the team needs to be doing and how. And you can just see this Singe is just zooming right past. He doesn't even give a damn. He doesn't give a damn.
Yep, and then grounded. Oh, Aurelia getting stuck probably feels really weird for any Aurelia player. Not able to get away, forced to use the flash later, and Seton Hall running out of options here. DePaul looking like the #1 seed of the Big East preseason invitational, because they are the #1 seed in the Big East preseason invitational. They've earned it. Please Be Patient now needs to be careful. A lot of wards, a lot of focus here on the bottom side of the map. What kind of fight do the Pirates need here to catch up? It's not a team fight. The gold lead is so big. Are they looking for catches on maybe soon?
They need to stop this Dragon first and foremost, or else the Dragon Soul goes over, and I feel like that makes it so it's pretty much impossible for them to win the game given the setup. Like a Blitzcrank running around faster? God, no. Singed? Oh, God, no. So it just becomes pretty bad.
Oh, another hook, and Honky Hank so good with his hands. Bianhe in the back line, goes down immediately. The Vanguard's edge did go, but there's no bounces anywhere. Please Be Patient, able to pick up one, but it's just a firing line for King Amazing. Is it another ace in the, or is it another pentakill for the 80 carry? Concha, you good teammate, you. Taking a double kill, but the ace heading on over to Seton, to DePaul as they will march in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's the full house there. That's Caitlyn's overrises. They're able to get all 5 members down, the triple and the double. No need to get the Dragon Soul. They're just going to push straight down with Baron and end this finals game in the first finals game, and it's going to be really quick in 27-ish minutes.
Yeah, DePaul just heading right on in. They'll take a Nexus Turret 1, Nexus Turret 2, and game number 1, 17-7. DePaul, 1 win away from being crowned Big East preseason champions, and it was a team effort there, but yet again, the time was bought to give King Amazing more than enough tools to be played around, and he carried it indeed.
And King Amazing is just such a hassle to deal with alongside Hunky Hank. This bottom lane, the fact that the meta shifted to be even more bottom lane focused, I think does not favor Seton Hall at all. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought they weren't going to win it coming into it, because I really liked what Seton Hall were doing in the previous series, but as soon as it devolved into Ash is just checking the jungle, we're outplaying with skill shots, and we're having, Hunky Hank really set up most of the plays, it became very difficult for them to find anything in those games on Seton Hall's side. So moving to this here, we had a great display of what the pressure from them looked like and how they're able to outplay in the later parts of the game, because King Amazing will deliver. Even that final fight where we saw I've earned this rank, jump straight into the back line. He gets trapped. He has to go over a trap to do it because he places it down and animation cancels on the Caitlyn, and he just gets blown up before he can even chrono shift back.
Yeah, tough spot there for Ivern this rank. But again, game number 1 heading on over to DePaul. Let's break down some of the action return. What you got for us?
All right, we got here for you guys a quick replay towards the bottom side, about midway through the game, that really showcased DePaul's mastery of picking fights and knowing exactly when to press forward. So we're going on ahead, back down to this bottom lane. Ivern, this rank, who has been a huge carry player for Seton Hall, going a bit over aggressive here. And the first thing to note is, of course, what we see on the mini-map. Now, do note we have a Rise up in top lane. We have the Kaisa still rotating down, Thresh still rotating down as well. And I believe that is one old Ornn still up above, like right under the Thresh, where you see him is like one over the other. That's where the rest of Seton Hall is, and this is where DePaul realized that they were in huge advantageous positions, and we're gonna go ahead and play this one out as, of course, the first wave of backup arrives. Hunky Hank, nothing needs to be said else about this man other than just hook, hook, hook. And right here, you can already see the first point where Seton Hall probably should be calling this one quits. Once there is this much room between you and your Echo, there is just not enough ways to get back on. There's no way you're gonna be saving him, but what you see here is you see the ultimate coming through from the Ornn. They're trying to play this fight back, while still, if you look at the minimap, Kaisa's still way over the wall, Thresh is still way in the backfield, and DePaul recognizes. They know that once they get this kill onto Echo, they can push forward and just look to run the fight. And as this does continue, of course, Hunky Hank's pick does lead into the first kill, but there's just not enough in the tank. Miane is 1v5 basically here on this backside as we continue, of course. Then you got the bus loaded on up, coming back around. And here, needless to say, great vision, gets the root, and as you play it on through, you can just go ahead and check it on out. Hunky Hank lands yet another hook to bring Kaisa into the backline, absolutely routing this fight. But this really turned into DePaul basically smelling that there was blood in the water, that there was a fight to be won. And Seton Hall just weren't ready to pull off of it, even after the first kill, even at the second kill, and even in a 3v5 situation, they just weren't able to get out of the danger zone quick enough, leading to a game 1 victory, and now match point going in favor, at least being up in favor for DePaul. But before we get to that, back to you guys on the desk to break that one right down.
The danger zone. I always love the danger zone. Nothing? All right.
I'm good.
Cool. DePaul taking game number 1 in that last battle there against Seton Hall. We're wondering how the Aurelia pick was going to work there, and I think in a 1v1 situation, it was working, but the game turned into some team fights, and that's where Aurelia started running into some issues.
Yeah, and I feel like they didn't really have much from the Kaisa in that game. I'm trying to think of times that he was very effective as well as the Thresh. And it's funny because in the last series, we saw like some great effect there from the bottom side of Seton Hall, but really I feel like King Amazin as well as Hunky Hank are just so hard to deal with. I'd be surprised if they're able to topple that lane. Because I think even in the ones that were the games that had been won on the side of Seton Hall back when they played each other, it was mainly through the top side, not so much through the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
And I think it's even more important now that you win bottom.
Yep. And I think we've focused on that one there. Again, who's going to win that bottom side of the map in game number 1 in the Battle of Hooks? It was Hunky Hank coming out on top, but I wouldn't count out Seton Hall just yet. Game 1 in the books. DePaul's skills unmatched, their style inspiring, their community fantastic. But that was only game 1. 2 more games left, at least 1 more game left. Will DePaul come out on top, or can Seton Hall fight back?